Welcome, fellow adventurers, to the Knights of Argos. My name is Brandon.
I thought you were going to introduce.
No, we're all individuals.
We're
all individuals. I've seen Brandon to comment to me.
Let's be clear on what we're doing.
Yeah, we don't need to be like, "What's up, guys? This is what."
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
But like, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
Damn it!
Maybe I'm just overthinking this.
Welcome back, fellow adventurers and planeswalkers. My name is Brandon.
Emily.
I'm Justin, and today we're trying to do a different setup to kind of be a little bit more visually pleasing.
Today we're finally going to start talking about video games, and here is Lee to introduce our new series.
Hey guys, welcome to Game Tasting, and today we're going to talk about Smite. And Smite is a MOBA game, and it stands for Multiplayer Online Battle Arena. It is where all the gods from all mythologies, Greek, Roman, Norse, Celtic, Egyptian, Hindu, Chinese, Slavic, Mayan, and even Voodoo are brought to form a battleground of the gods. Now, Smite has several game modes that we're going to talk about. But we're going to talk about the main one that Smite revolves around, and it's called Conquest. Now, Conquest is a 5v5 game where you fight to destroy the enemy's Titan, but it is protected by a Phoenix and 2 towers in each lane. So, let's go through the layout of the map and the roles assigned to them. Each lane has its own role and wave of minions that are automatically generated and are used by both teams to farm gold and XP to buy items that help them win the game. Now, there is mid lane, defended by one god of each team, which is able to roam and help other lanes on either side of, or help the jungle secure objectives. Now, mages are usually picked to be played mid, but other gods are viable as well. Now, gods that are for mid lane are chosen for their abilities to clear minion waves as fast as possible, while still having great movement for roaming. The short lane is taken by a single god of each team and usually consists of warriors or other gods that can sustain in lane and deal out damage too. These gods end up as engagers and provide peel for their team. That basically means that they initiate team fights or provide cover to regroup if their team gets cut out of position. Then there's a long lane, which holds 2 gods per team, which is a hunter and a tank. The hunter mainly stays farming lane, while the tank can roam a bit for extra gold and to occasionally help mid or secure objectives with the jungler. The hunter farms to acquire items and to be able to deal out massive damage, but is equally low on health, while the tank, well, he builds to be a massive wall. And then finally, there's the jungler that has no lane, but rather earns XP and gold from the jungle camps in between lanes. An important role that can tilt sides to win a losing lane. Now, these gods usually are heavy hitters and are extremely mobile, and they need to be able to run around the map and help a lane if needed. I know this seems like a lot of information, but the game lets you play with AI bots until you feel comfortable enough with your role. And when you start, it'll match you with people on the same level as you. Now, for time's sake and for your enjoyment, let's play some Arena. Arena is another game mode found in Smite, and it's still a 5v5 game, but instead of lanes, it's an open coliseum, which each team has a fixed amount of tickets, and killing/dying diminishes those tickets, as well as pushing minions into opponent's portal on either side. Now that we went over the basics, we're going to put this game in the hands of the other members and see how they do. Now, quick reminder, both have never played this game before and don't spend their time playing these kinds of games either. I also asked them to try out 2 different roles for them to test out. Let's check it out and see how bad I did.
Alright guys, so we're going to play some Smite. So I already done the tutorial part for this, and I kind of have a slight understanding, but this is kind of like a new thing for me, okay? So let's see what we get. Alright, let's do this.
slain. An ally has been slain.
Oh, Lord, mercy. Oh, Lord, what the hell am I? Oh my God. Good God almighty, dude.
Give me Lord Shiva.
Ah, I like this. It's a bit, oh my God, what's going on? It's a little hectic. I can say that. It's a little hectic.
Can't be getting jumped now.
Ah, okay.
Has been slain.
Oh my God. Oh my God, no! Oh! Okay. Oh wait, but I can buy stuff, right? Store. That's right.
6.5 hours later.
This is the only thing I feel like I'm wasting time right now, not going out there and doing some stuff, man. Makes me feel like,
Minions have reached your portal. Enemy has been slain.
alright.
Minions have reached your portal.
I think it automatically buys stuff. Yeah, got him, dude. Oh my God. I'm sorry if I'm not like commentating a lot, but oh my God, I'm kind of focused on everything. There you go. There you go. There you go. That is not fair. There you go. Oh man. Okay. Dude, he was on his own. I'm liking the Warrior, man. The Warrior's good. He's in there.
I don't know, we'll see. Okay, here we go. So my teammates are Nave, Kuchulain, Ymir, and Hachiman. We're going against Bacchus, Thor, Vulcan, Neith, and Amaterasu. Super TVH. I know most of these gods and like where they're from, but some of them obviously because of how I pronounce them, I have no idea. Do we not get the starting creatures for the bonuses for our teams? Here we go. I don't know why our warrior doesn't come out here because they're right here. So, I know I realized that like my character is kind of control, lots of damage to lots of people. So I wonder if, like everyone has these roles that you just kind of know that you have to do while filling that role. So, oh god. Sorry, don't mind in the background, Pauline is making coffee.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, yes, siege monster has been spawned, which means it's my job to protect it so that it can make its way all the way to the enemy portal. I'll take care of our little minions. I have lots of jobs. I need to go refill my mana. I don't exactly know how to recharge my mana, so that's another thing that obviously needs to be done relatively soon. I'm trying to get out of here before Bacchus kills me, because he knows that I am the biggest threat of the group. That is a complete lie. Cool, so if you go back to base, you go back to full everything. But I mean, that means that you have to go back to base. So I understand how that's going to be difficult. Where are all of my teammates? I am carrying this party alone. Whoa, 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 whoa! Crazy things are going on. Okay, and you hear all those things about killing and triple killing. That is definitely not me. I am here to cause as much crowd control as possible. Taking care of those nice little minions or whatever they're called, and really make sure that these big bad those big choking things that we use to get lots of points into the enemy base, that I do those. Oh god, oh god. Quadra kill. So that means I'm here to help with the minions. I am here to help with the minions. I don't take on the big boys. That's for real players. That's not me. Because when I try to, I use these big powers and then they're dead. My teammates know how to do. They know how to play this game better than I will on day one. So it makes sense. But I think we're gonna win right now. No, never mind. 5 more points, which that big guy in the front's gonna do, so yes! And I only had to go back to heal once, and I only died once.
So now that you guys played, what do you guys think?
It was cool. It was fun. Definitely a noob. I had lots of questions through the whole thing. Lots part of the tutorial and gameplay that you might have seen. I was constantly asking questions to myself and to my sister who was there. But I think I'm going to start off with the fact that there were so many different gods. It looked so cool. Like, it was just really cool, and I wanted to get some new ones, and I went to the store and I saw that it was a couple couple hundred gems. So what is the easiest way to get gems besides having to pay for them? So I saw in the store you could buy gems, I think it was like 200 for $10, $20, can't remember, I'd have to check. But is there another way to get them without having to pay?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the main way is just through the store directly, and you can pay money, but you can actually just get them by logging in. So you log in from like day 1, day 2, day 3, 4, 5, and then on day 5 and 6 and 7, I believe. I'm not entirely sure, but you do get gems. You get like 10 to 15 to like 35, I think, at the end. So you do get gems as you log in daily. So that's just an incentive to keep bringing you back.
Yeah.
Just like
Okay, cool.
For me, I was actually pleasantly surprised because this is the first time I ever played like a type of game of this kind of format. I'm usually more of a Dark Souls kind of guy, or Skyrim, kind of more RPG stuff. But this is something different. But one thing that I have a question on, I played the Warrior and the Assassin. And for the Assassin, I was doing a lot of big punches. She was taking a lot of damage, and she could easily die. I died a lot with the Assassin.
The assassin.
And what are some strategies to use with the Assassin? Because I know there's probably some strategies to use with the Assassin when used properly. And that's my question right there.
Okay, so just so you can understand the role of the assassin is this heavy hitter, and you gotta understand that the assassin has its own personal kit. The way to utilize the assassin well is to know her or whatever gods that you're using is knowing the kit. So usually the build has an effect on the god that you're playing with, and it does affect how it does damage or in other ways as well.
Okay.
So the way to really utilize the assassin, you were using Nemesis. Right?
Yes, Nemesis.
So her kit has a dash.
Yes.
It's 2 dashes actually, and then she has either like a shield and a swipe.
Yes. Yeah, she does
So
have a swipe.
usually all gods have like these little combos that the kits revolve around. So usually what you would do with Nemesis is you do a dash, do the slashing with a sword, and then if you're being collapsed upon, you use your shield and then the other extra dash to get away. So there's different little combos with each god and with each role that you use to really optimize that role or that god specifically.
Okay, now I understand how to do that now.
Kind of going off of that, I guess. For people who are just starting the game, is there something very general to focus on? I know that each god has its own, like you said, there's its own kit, its own focus and own combos, but is there something, I don't know, a little bit more general to focus on for everyone? Because I know as I played as a hunter and as a mage, and I didn't quite understand my role when I started. And obviously as you keep going, you start understanding that more. But is there something, I don't know, like looking at your level up, looking at the tickets, is there something very, very general that affects everyone that you should focus on as a noob?
Okay, yeah, definitely. That's a very big question, and there's many things to focus on. And I know as someone that you just basically jumped into this game, it seemed pretty hectic and very
Yes.
very just
Yes.
what's going on my screen basically. You're fighting gods, you're trying to protect your portal from minions, right? And the minotaurs. And this is pretty hectic. But the thing is, and it happens to me as well, this is a team comp. You work as a team. It's not like a solo hero thing. And that tends to really happen with new players. You think that you're like, okay, I'm a god, I have powers, I'm strong, let me just go kill someone and just dive in. You basically want to dive in and attack with your team. You want to be together, attack together, disengage together, go to objectives together, if you can. Of course, you can solo some stuff like the buffs around or clear out minions by yourself if you can. But that's just a more general rule for new people. Just try to, again, this is a team game.
And just to be very clear, I don't know if we said this earlier, this is specifically when we were doing arena.
Yeah.
I know that there are different types of
Formats.
playing and stuff, but this is, right now we're just talking about arena because that's what we dove into. We figured that was the easiest way for us to get
Introduced
to this game instead of trying Conquest or
there's other type of game modes, and this was the most kind of just you just get in and you just start playing basically, and it was the shortest one that we could really all do.
So for my next question, it's more on, because I felt like I was wrecking shop with the warrior class. What was the name of that particular warrior?
It's some Celtic god that I can't pronounce.
And
Cthulhu. I'll put it somewhere here.
and but I felt I was wrecking shop with him because like I was, there killing most of the gods and the minions and everything, and then at certain points I was becoming like the Hulk. There's like, But my question to you is that like an easy character to play? Because like I'm kind of looking at it as like in Mortal Kombat, a lot of people like are new to playing Mortal Kombat. They usually choose like a Scorpion because they can spam certain special powers, while veteran players more than likely will choose another character that is difficult to play. But once they know the mechanics of that particular character, they can go ham on with that character. So is there kind of like a hierarchy of that in this particular in Smite?
Yes, there is. There's definitely generally some gods that you start off with, and those are the most easiest and most simplest to use. The one that you were using, I think it was you did okay. I honestly thought that was a little bit more complicated, but you did fine, honestly. Because that god is based off of kind of like Hyde, or what was it, Hyde and Jekyll? Dr. Hyde? Dr. Jekyll?
Yeah, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yeah. So that god specifically is based off of that, that figure. That's why when you went like all ranging and you like became like kind of this monster, it was based off of that. But that character doesn't have mana like every other god has.
Really?
So you're not based off of mana, you're based off of rage. So when you deal damage or when you take damage, that rage meter fills.
Yeah.
And that amplifies your kit, your abilities. So at a certain point, when he takes enough damage or takes enough damage or gives enough damage, it'll start raging into that monster thing that you did.
Okay.
And that amplifies and changes your abilities as well. But you were doing fine.
There you go. Okay.
So as we continued playing and I restarted, just kind of adding on to what we've talked about before, at first it was confusing why we all kind of like restarted, because like I was like leveling up every time that I played, and then we restarted and I did another arena and I was back to 1. And then I realized that was actually really good as a new player. Like everyone was restarting back at the base level and then just going and then building in the same arena. So this is not a question, more of a comment, but just that was a really cool mechanic, that everyone starts at the base and then builds up together to finish, your objectives and, finish out the arena and stuff like that. And that's cool and easy, I think, for new players, because then there's not, old equipment and old, powers that have been saved up, like in different games. I don't know, as I've said before, I don't play a lot of games, but I feel like there are games like that. But this kind of like puts everyone back at the bar.
Yeah, it evens out the playing field, and then like you're able to base everybody on skill, because it's basically skill on knowledge on the game.
Yeah, so this game, you always start at level 1 when you start a game, whatever mode it is, and you basically build up on that. That's why you go ahead and kill or farm minions or the buffs, because that gives you XP and gold. So you always want to have you always want XP and gold because that makes you stronger. So that's the kind of the whole objective of that thing, of this whole game basically in every game mode.
My next question, it's more on the navigation on the store, because I was having, as you guys saw, I was like, how do I buy this? I'm like, and then I was under the pressure of just trying to get back on the field, because like, this is kind of like Dark Souls, Bloodborne kind of knowledge on my part, because I'm used to like, okay, you can't pause, and you have to be wary of all time. You have to be wary of your surroundings all the time. And now it's like, my guys are out there doing, like, holding the team. So I'm like, I need to get back out there and trying to figure out how to do the store, but I couldn't. So like, what's your advice on navigating through the store?
So I have played Smite on console several times. Even for me, it's kind of hard to navigate through it, even though I know what it is that I'm looking for. It's just a bit awkward for the console.
Okay.
And it can be a struggle for new players to just automatically know, oh, this is what I'm looking for, or what exactly am I looking for in the store. So I do agree with that. It's kind of a bit hectic there. But regarding the store, there's kind of just like on the D-pad, you can go ahead and move around, and it'll show you like the different items that you're looking for. If it's like power or like physical, magic power, physical power, physical protection or magic protection or movement speed or whatever you're looking for, you can look it up on those categories.
Okay.
It's a bit difficult to maneuver, but once you get it down, it's pretty easy. Especially because in those games, in those arenas, even in Conquest, you don't want to spend that much time looking at the store, like, oh, where is this item that I need to buy? Yeah. You know, you just want to, buy it and get out of there and get out into the action basically. Mm-hmm. To help your team.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it comes with time, I would assume, just going through the store often and just realizing where everything is.
Like I said, I'm new to it, and then I'm not in that, I guess, I'm not familiar with the culture with that particular game, because like I said, I'm more familiar with the, Dark Souls, where you have to keep on going. You have to be on your toes, and I saw like, everybody's going out there, so I was like, it's chaos.
And this is nothing like Pokemon, the only games that I play. So
Pokemon Go.
Hey, Pokemon Go though, while being safe and quarantined. Anyway, well, going off of what Justin is saying, as someone who plays PC more often, right?
Yeah.
And versus the people who play consoles, what are some of the other big differences besides, I know you said it's kind of easier to navigate the store on PC, right?
Yeah.
So are there other big differences when trying to switch through that'll make it even more difficult for new people to think about?
Yeah. One of the big things that really came to mind was the VGA system, which I don't think either of you used.
VGA.
Yeah. So in these kinds of games, you need to have a system, or you need to have some kind of coordination and communication with your team, right? But you have a controller. You can't type. You can't unless you have a mic. Bypasses the whole system. But for people who don't like talking or using a mic, there's something called the VGA system, which is basically there are certain series of buttons that you press
to
say a command.
Wow.
So it'll say, like, when you do a series of commands, it'll say, oh, you rock, or nice job, or help, or attack, or defend, or those types of commands to let your team, hey, I need help, or hey, you need to pay attention to this, or hey, just getting their attention. And that's a system that's in place. And that, for me even, it was hard. I could get it down, but some of those buttons in those series are attached to relics or abilities. So you gotta be careful, because you'll end up using those abilities or artifacts at the wrong time when you don't want to. And that could really mess you up. And that's hard. It really is. That's not a really easy system. But again, it's kind of like the store. You have to use it regularly, and you'll get the feeling of it. Because I did pick it up, but I only remembered the most important ones like help or attack or like follow me or whatever.
Yeah, I know. There's so many things going on the screen, especially for someone new playing, that every time that I did a new arena or new chapter, new level up, I was starting to focus on the other things. And one of the last things I saw was the chat. That was far out of my mind.
I've never seen the chat.
Yeah.
Being honest, I've never seen the chat. I didn't know there was a chat.
Yeah, I noticed it at the very end when I was like, whew, there's nothing I need to fight. And then I noticed it was like, oh, good job. And I was like, huh? Oh, cool, that's there. But yeah.
Yeah, don't worry. That's even a thing for even veteran players or like me. You have like a tunnel vision and you're just like focused on something. But yeah, that's something as well that you'll just learn to just kind of like catch. As long as you keep playing, you'll understand the mechanics and you'll be like, okay, I need to pay attention to this, to the map, to where like my team is at. Am I the only one out in the field? Is my team there? You just kind of pick on those things.
Yeah. I also noticed while playing, when the opponents, they would go, instead of like going straight to us, they would usually go towards like the creatures that are there for like the buffs and everything. And I was kind of wondering if there's any like strategies, because to me, I always went towards like, the enemy and just started wrecking shop, because that's in my mind, that's yeah, that's the enemy. I'm gonna go attack them and just get it done with. But is there a specific strategy that's, more effective? Because like I said, I'm more straightforward and just want to destroy everything.
Yeah, well, like I said before, it's a team game.
Yeah.
You don't want to just go out and like, oh, I want to kill someone already. It's more strategy based than just hitting someone, And in the beginning, and there's in the tutorial they go through it. In arena, you'll go to the buffs first, and then you go to the middle of the Coliseum where the lanes, where the wave minions meet. The reason for that is because you want to get those buffs. There's a mana buff, a red buff, and I think an attack speed buff. That mana buff usually always goes towards the mage because they spam their abilities to clear out waves, and so we can attack the enemy team. And the red buff, which is our damage buff, usually goes either to the assassin if there's one, or the warrior if there's no assassin.
The two big hitters.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the attack speed buff goes towards the hunter because you want to be spamming those auto attacks all the time. You want attack speed basically. And all of those, if you're there with your whole team, you'll get XP and gold. So that's what you want. By the time you're done running through those buffs, you'll end up at the middle of the Coliseum meeting the mini layers, and you can just start the fight.
You just have to time it just right.
Yeah, it's not that difficult. If you just go through it once they spawn, it's super easy. It's not like you can mess it up. Unless you're there by yourself. Then you can't really start it.
Yeah. So another thing was, I started off as the hunter with the tutorial, and I was expectant to love those roles because I've always loved archers. I've always loved the idea of being in the back and being safe and killing things. It was fun. It was a great time, and I loved it. And I liked the different mechanics. My character was able to like jump back after doing a big wave kind of thing. So I was able to, like, if anything got close, I moved away. Then I played as the mage, and I realized that was more of the mechanic that I wanted to do. And to me, it was easier to navigate as a new person. It was very straightforward. Like, I do this for crowd control. I do this to stop people. I do this for a big attack. So I realized that one was easier than the other, for me personally. Would you say that there's an order of difficulty for the different roles? Like, all warriors are easy to play. All mages are the easiest to play. Like, what would you say?
Okay. So for that, I think it also affects on what kind of playstyle it is. But in general, the mages are the easiest.
Okay.
The mages are the easiest because you do have some skill shots, but they're like AOE. Like, you hit a big area of the ground that you're trying to shoot. So there's more coverage, or more of a chance that you can actually hit the god with whatever ability you're trying to use. Like the tornado.
Yeah.
It's just a huge circle that you just place, and if the enemy is there, like they'll get wrapped up around it and just get damaged.
Yeah.
So yeah, in overall, mages are the easiest, but not all mages are easy to play.
Okay.
There are certain gods that are easy to play in each role, not just the mages. But mages overall are the easiest.
Okay. So what's after that?
I think it'd be warrior, because there are some skill shots that some have, but they're more like either they shoot out like a cone, or they dash somewhere or
Mine
something.
was more like the spear thrown.
Yeah. So there's I think the warriors are the next easiest, but it depends what warrior you're playing as well. I think it'll go down to being a guardian as well. That one would be the next one, because, well, that's a hard one, because you're up in front protecting your team. You need to know what you're doing and how you're doing it, and you're supposed to be using your abilities more scarcely than everybody else, because the tanks have hard CCs, which is hard crowd control, which is basically a stun, a root, a sleep, something that weighs down the enemy team, and protect and giving peel to your team, which is basically just giving cover or giving your team time to escape, basically. And then it'd be the assassins. The assassins are just a little bit more kind of like hunters. They're in the back, they're waiting for their chance. They usually go in after the team initiates. So after the tank goes in, does his abilities, his hard CC, the mages go in and like do their AoE stuff. Then they go in and try to do just pick off enemy teams. Basically, whoever's super low, they go in just kill, basically. And they do hit hard. And they usually have like dots, which is damage over time, which you can just literally like either do one ability to attack someone and then walk away, and like 2-3 seconds later they're dead. So that's kind of the basic mechanic of the assassins.
Okay.
But yeah, that's kind of the whole general scale of it.
Okay.
In a
So then
sense.
we have mages, warriors, guardians,
Oh, guardians.
Yeah, guardians.
And then assassins.
assassins, hunters.
Oh, I forgot about hunters. I think hunters are like assassins, because the thing about the hunters is you have abilities that buff you, and you have skill shots that you have to hit. They're not like big AoE things. It's more direct shots, like either you're shooting out like a huge powerful arrow or something along those lines that you need to hit your basic attacks, which is you just clicking left mouse or whatever button it is on the controller. I forgot
R2?
what it is. Yeah, R2, whatever it is.
L? No, I think it's L.
Hunters, I think, are one of the most the difficult ones to play, because you need to be able to hit those basic attacks and those skill shots, because you are the damage for the whole team. Yes, everybody else has their own damage output, but you are the one that is mowing them down. You are the one that can literally tear down that tank from the enemy team and stop him from pushing forward. You know, but at the same time, you can't be up front because you're squishy. Like you don't have that big of a
The
defense.
squeeze.
Yeah.
Squeeze.
So I think that's how it kind of ranks. I hope you enjoyed how bad Brandon and Justin's gameplay was of Smite.
Comment below on what your experience on playing Smite, and also let us know what type of video games you want to watch us play.
Like and subscribe to become a Knight of Argos, and follow us on Instagram. We'll be posting 2 to 3 times a week, and the link should be in the description below.
Thanks again, fellow adventurers and planeswalkers, and we'll see you again next time.